Hari Om. Welcome to Vedic Heritage Deepavali series. The fourth day of Deepavali is celebrated as Bali Pratipada, as Govardhan Puja, as the first day of the financial new year, and as Gauramma Puja. Let us start with Bali Pratipada. It is also called Bali Padyami, Padva, Vipra Pratipada, or Dyuta Pratipada. It falls on the first day of the bright fortnight of Kartika, the Shukla Paksha Pratipada or Pratamatithi of the Kartik lunar month. Every year, there are 3.5 auspicious moments or Muhurat according to Indian astrology. Bali Pratipada is counted as the half of that 3.5 moments. These auspicious days are such that any act performed during that day proves to be beneficial. The Bali Pratipada is an ancient festival. The earliest mention of Bali's story being acted out in dramas and poetry of ancient India is found in the 2nd century BCE Mahabhashya of Patanjali on Panini's Ashtadhyayi. The story associated with this festival is the defeat of King Mahabali, born as the grandson of Prahalad, the great devotee of Sri Vishnu. Bali too was an ardent devotee and a righteous man. Born in the Asura clan, Mahabali reigned supreme among Asuras. As most Asuras enjoyed harassing the righteous Devas, under the supreme rule of Bali, they ran amok. Devas approached Sri Vishnu to ensure Bali's destruction. But Sri Vishnu knew that as a righteous man there was no justification in destroying Bali, but a defeat would be enough to silence the Asuras. Thus, Sri Vishnu appeared in the form of a dwarf Brahmin and asked for a piece of land measurable by his own paces. Bali agreed to donate it, and immediately Vishnu assumed his immense form, measuring the heavens with one leg and the earth with the other. For the third step, Bali offered his head, which Vishnu stepped on and pushed him into the netherworlds to reign there as a king. But since Bali was a good ruler to his people, he was given the boon to visit earth once a year to meet his subjects and receive their hospitality. Another version talks of the charitable nature of Bali, who gave people what they wished for. The rules of charity dictate that it should be done with discrimination. Giving things free to the unworthy makes them squander it and become more irresponsible. By encouraging this trend, Bali was disturbing the dharmic way of life. To stop him and to teach him the value of discrimination, Sri Vishnu assumed the form of Trivikrama, the dwarf Brahmin, and asked for arms of 3 paces measured by his legs. Bali learnt his lesson when the heavens and earth were covered by Vishnu's 2 paces. As a sign of surrendering his ego, Bali bowed and offered his head as the 3rd pace. This idea is also symbolically represented as a story of how Sri Vishnu rescued Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of wealth, from the prison of Bali. Vishnu granted him the boon that whenever Bali visits earth, for those 3 days his subjects may behave as per their wishes. Therefore, from Chaturthi to Pratipada, there is merrymaking and feasting everywhere. The celebrations of Bali Pratipada are similar to Deepavali. Rangolis and deepas adorn homes. An oil bath followed by puja offering Naivedya to Mahabali is followed by a feast. There is also a story which says why people gamble on this day. Once on this Padyami day, Shiva and Parvati played the game of dice. Shiva lost to Parvati. Parvati lost to Kumaraswamy, their son, who in turn lost to Ganesh, his brother. Since then, it has been customary for families to gamble for sport, says this story. Now for an interesting tidbit. It is believed that among the energies of the universe, the proportion of Triyak and Yama frequencies are more on these days. These forces can empower the negative energies from the netherworlds, making this period fraught with danger. Therefore, as the king of these negative forces of the netherworld, by offering food and water as Naivedya to Bali, he is appeased and the forces under his control too are kept in a benevolent state. Having seen other celebrations in earlier episodes, I wonder if this is possibly why the Chaturdashi is called the Dark Night or the Bhoot Chaturdashi by other regions of India, and why Hanumanji and Ma Kali are invoked for protection, and also why Lord Yama is appeased as well with Yamadeepas. There seems to be an underlying commonality among all these traditions. Farmers in the south celebrate this day in a different way. They perform puja to cows, which is known as Gauramma Puja. Now let us look at Govardhan Puja. According to Bhagavata Purana, forest-dwelling cowherds living close to the hill Govardhan used to celebrate the autumn season by paying respect to Indra, the god of rain and storm. Once Sri Krishna as a child questioned this practice. He wondered why the Govardhan hill, which supplied the food for their herds and themselves, was not worshipped instead. Convinced by his logic, the villagers worshipped Govardhan instead. Angered by this change of ritual, Indra decided to rain and ravage the area. To protect the people from the storms, Sri Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill on his little finger and provided shelter to all the people and cattle of the city. Seeing the people of Gokul being unaffected after 7 to 8 days of incessant storms, Indradeva accepted defeat and stopped the storms. This day is celebrated as Govardhan Puja by offering a Giri Yajna, a great amount of food and delicacies to the mountain. Anakut or mountain of food is another name for this festival. While devotees circumambulate the hill and offer food to the mountain on this day, families create an image of Giriraj Govardhan from cow dung, adorning it with miniature cow figures as well as grass and twigs representing trees and greenery. 56 food items, Chappan Bhog, are typically prepared and offered in the evening. Chappan Bhog and prayers are also offered in Krishna temples. Let us now look at the fourth day celebration among the West and North Indian merchant communities. It is the regional traditional New Year day in Vikram Samvat, also called Bestu Baras or Varsha Pratipada. For many others, the fourth day of Diwali marks the New Year and a time to exchange gifts and well wishes. This day also celebrates the bond between wife and husband, and in some communities, husbands offer gifts to their wives. In other regions, parents invite newly married son or daughter to their home for a festive meal and gifts. The artisan Hindu and Sikh community celebrates this fourth day as Vishwakarma Puja Day. The divine craftsman, Vishwakarma, is the presiding deity of all craftsmen and architects. Son of Brahma, he is the divine craftsman of the whole universe and the official builder of all God's palaces. Those in architecture, building, manufacturing and crafts clean the tools, machines and workplaces and offer prayers to them as they provide the livelihood. With this, I conclude the fourth day celebration of the Deepavali festival. I will meet you with the information on day 5. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining me. Hari Om.